Hey Kev, it's time to record a new Smodcast.
Fuck off. I'm listening to one of the other great shows on the Smodcast Podcast Network. Scott?
There's so many to choose from.
You damn skippy, there's so many to choose from. I'm on 5 every week myself, man. Hollywood Babylon on Monday, Smodcast with you on Tuesday, Jay and Silent Bob Get Old on Wednesday with Jay Muse, Fat Man on Batman every Thursday, and then I wrap up the week with Edumacation with Andy McElfresh.
There's so many to choose from.
Hell yeah, son, and those aren't the only podcasts. Those are just the ones I'm involved with. What about the podcasts of Smodco that don't feature me, man? Like Tell 'em Steve Dave, Last Week on Earth with Ben Glebe, I Sell Comics with Ming and Mike.
There's so many to choose from.
Hey man, there's also Film School Fridays or Netheads or Get Up on This, Team Jack.
There's so many to choose from.
The Breaks, man. Waking from the American Dream, Bagged and Boarded, Phoebe, Soundbite Nation. These are all the shows you could be listening to over at smodcast.com, Scott.
There's so many to choose from.
And if audio's not enough for you, man, if you're just like, no, I want the thick dick of video as well, man, well, you can go to our YouTube channel, which is C-Smod, or you can watch Comic Book Men, our show on AMC, following The Walking Dead and The Talking Dead every Sunday night.
There's so many to choose from.
That's right, Scott. There are so many to choose from. So get choosing, kids. Go to smodcast.com. Start getting picky, man. Stick these sweet, sweet oral sounds into your ear pussies.
There's so many to choose from.
You said that already.
There's so many to choose from.
My name is Kevin Smith.
My name is Walt Flanagan.
My name is Brian Johnson.
And this is Highlands, a Peephole history. Thanks for coming out tonight. Give yourselves a big round of applause. We're going to do this real quick because we've been doing it all night. We're going to read everyone's names into the record.
I'll do it.
There's Scott's cock on the back. I'm holding up papers, sorry. That was from the first show. Let's just lay that down. Here we go. We're going to read everybody who bought tickets, everybody who's here in attendance, because as you know, some people bought tickets, donated tickets. Those people who picked up the tickets are actually here in the seats, so we do want to shout you out, but we do want to shout out the cats that actually cared enough to put up cash. So here we go. Forgive pronunciation. Victor Aguilar, Ryan Anderson, Allison Aquino, Matthew Bauknecht. Does that sound good? Kyle Beach, Matt Benson, Brooke Blau, Robert Bogner. Thanks. And Dempsey, Brian Dempsey, Bill Douglas, Jeremy Graz, Casey Goldberg, Kenneth Hatch, Anthony Herrera, Andrew Herrera, Tim Eisenman. Right on, man. Stephanie Keith, Antonio Lopez, John Mason, Darren McKee, Brandon Metchnikoff, Angela Nagel, Artemis Noggin, Shelley Oliver, Daniel Para, Bill Rice, Jason Rodenbaugh. Did you just like, yeah, your own name? Right on, dude. It's like Affleck style. Josh Roush, Chad Sachs, Michelle Seifert, Alma Serrano, Casey,
Help him out.
Yeah, Sveven. Casey Spaven, William Whites, and then we're on to, Travis Wheaton, Nicholas Williams, Mandy Liphard. Is that really a name? Are you here, Mandy? No. And her name is Liphard? It's like having the name of Sally Blowjob. Justin Foote, Brian Hill, Scott Kramer, Jesse Moore, Nathaniel Jones, Amy Weisenberger, Beth A. Bristol, William L. M. Wilkins, Kevin Dunseith, Donna Hagenbuch, or Butch, Haggard Bush, nickname she had in high school, Joshua Hicks, William Trousdale, Jerome D. Kolasinski, and Mark Gilliland. Thank you all for supporting. You guys are the first Not only the first Highlands People History at Smodcast audience, but the very first Highlands People History Live. This is the first time we've ever done it live. And how we start Highlands normally is we sit around and record, and then I just chop it up, and so it sounds like you're entering in the middle of a conversation. And at the end, we kind of get out really hard and really fast. It sounds like you're being yanked out of the convo. So we can't really do that here. But we will start with some shit we were talking about backstage, which was a huge revelation to me. Brian Johnson, you were in a gang?
I was in a gang.
Highlands?
I was in the life. I was in a Highlands gang in 6th grade.
6th grade? I wasn't aware that Highlands had colors battles, man. Were you Crips or Bloods? Were there any colors? What were your colors?
There weren't any colors. There weren't any identifying patches. There wasn't really anything aside from the leader of the gang telling me that I was the secretary.
No.
That I was the secretary of the gang.
All the toughest gangs have secretaries. Like you, fit you some fucking Coca-Cola.
Yeah, you're
and
going
a pen.
You're going on a drive-by. You're taking the minutes. What were you gonna say?
I remember you're wrong. I remember I wasn't in the gang. I didn't join a gang, but
tough enough.
I
You
remember
were able to steer clear and shit. Didn't
Yeah,
bow to peer pressure.
I was a loner. Yeah, I didn't need to join a gang, but I remember the
Walt Flanagan, gangbuster.
you guys would cut the sleeves off your denim jackets and write on the back with black magic marker dragons.
No, it wasn't dragons. You couldn't be far off. It was demons.
I'm right?
Yeah, you're right. So it was Highlands. Nobody had any money. I mean, the embroidery alone for something like that would have exhausted our account.
Far too
As
rich for
secretary,
that
I had
young
to keep an
gang.
eye on shit like that.
Yeah, you were like, look, we're way over budget, man.
Right.
You're going to have to start writing with markers on your shit. That's what he pointed out. That's
Do I
the
need to
treasure.
fucking call my boys back together and take care of this guy?
You don't want to be yelling at a demon, sir. Once a demon, always a demon. Were you jumped into the gang? Did you have to fuck a guy or something?
No, I didn't have to.
That's what got him kicked out.
I was like, when am I going to get hazed again, guys? I'd jump in the bed, they would jump out.
I don't know how else to say this, but you are somehow a bad demon.
I was too demonic. There was a you would consider him a bully. I can't say his name, right? The guy who...
Oh yeah, he was
First
a bully.
name. Or pick one, first or last.
Hudson.
Okay.
His last name was Hudson.
It like the name of the school we went to.
Right. And I remember when we had just moved to our new house, I was probably like 5 or 6, and I was not in the demons at this point, but he lived around the corner.
This was in your early innocent years
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
If this was a behind the music, this is in the first 15 minutes when life
Yeah,
is
it would be
idyllic.
like the school picture of me, like bright-eyed and
Before he ran afoul of the demons.
But he lived around the corner, and he came over one day, and my sister had a doll, and I don't know why he had it with him, but he had a screwdriver in his pocket, and he was only 2 years older than us, and he just took out the screwdriver and in the front yard and just started stabbing my sister's doll like crazy. This was the leader of the demons, and then
And you were like, I got to be in this gang. I'm into doll stabbing.
yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, years later in 6th grade, he told me that I was in the gang. I was in the demons, and it was very kind of a loosely,
You didn't say no?
I
Like,
was
you
not
couldn't
gonna
say no to
him.
the demons, right?
No, well, not to him, not
No.
to Hudson. He wasn't.
What was your responsibilities as secretary?
I don't know, because I was in it for such a short amount of time. My grandmother owned this property downtown, and it was like, they called it the Grove, and it was a bunch of bungalows that she would rent out in the summer. And she got sick and she moved out of that, but she still had the property. And when they told me that, they were like, well, we have a clubhouse or a hideout or whatever the fuck. So when I went with them, I'm like, wow, this looks really familiar. In fact, my family owns this property. And they had like kicked in one of the bungalow doors and wrote like demons, and it wasn't marker, it was spray paint, but like they had written demons all over the wall, and I was like, I'm gonna get in so much fucking trouble. But I wasn't in it that long, and
You didn't quit right there when they.
I was barely allowed downtown, so they really like
when they squatted in your grandma's bungalow. That wasn't enough to make you go. Maybe this isn't for me.
It was the demons. Have I not made that abundantly clear? No, but he got in trouble for something involving, like, I mean, I don't know what the fuck they did, but like I was there every like third meeting or something, and eventually I think they felt I wasn't committed enough.
Feel like you're really going about this demons thing half-assed,
Yeah.
Brian. This is a real opportunity. You're
Yeah, but
just
I don't-
fucking it.
I
You're
don't-
fucking me, Brian.
Yeah. I don't really recall ever actually doing anything aside from, snipping the sleeves off and writing demons, and then that was it.
Maybe that was enough, man. Maybe that just sent the message that you guys were rebelling against everything.
Yeah, maybe. We didn't really do anything though. We never beat anybody up. We never. I wish I had more to say. I wish I at least stabbed a doll with a screwdriver. I wish I at least had that.
Did you get into many fights when you were younger?
Fist fight? No,
No,
not really.
Not a fight. Not a like. I'll see you after. I'll see you at Huddy Park, motherfucker. 4:00.
5 times tops from elementary school until senior. I was in high school. Yeah, no, not real violent.
And I seem to remember you had a pretty big fight at one point,
Yeah.
like on the basketball court,
Yeah.
over a girl.
No, yeah, it was over a girl. Yeah.
Not like it wasn't by your choice. It was just.
And it wasn't even like, we both love her. It's like he was making fun of the girl, and it was this other dude's girlfriend who was like, what do you say?
No, it wasn't that at all.
It wasn't.
She
You were
was just,
calling her
she was
Bubba the
just
Hutt.
talking to me in gym, and I guess he was pissed about it, and he started a fight over it.
And it was
After
this,
school.
So right after, did he just come up to you? Did you know it was coming? And
No, I didn't know it was coming. I was playing basketball, and he came over, started yelling and fucking ranting and raving, and the next thing I know, all I saw was blue. And it was because I was looking at the sky because I hadn't even seen him. He had punched me.
I was putting my jean jacket over his face. I thought he was dead. Poor Walt.
you're a demon now. So he hit you from the front or the back?
I don't even know. I didn't even see it. I was holding the basketball, and next thing I know, I saw like the blue sky. I didn't know what it was. I was looking at somebody, and next thing I know, they were gone. I didn't feel anything though. So then I got up and we started throwing.
So you felt nothing? You were like dead?
It didn't feel
nervous?
anything. Like I was actually probably knocked out for like maybe like a millisecond because I didn't even feel it myself hit the ground. Nothing.
But you were on the ground?
Yeah, because
And
I
then you
was looking
immediately-
at the sky.
And you immediately popped back up,
Yeah.
like Jean-Claude Van Damme style, and
For this venue, yeah.
When really it was me standing over him. You got knocked the fuck out.
so you pop up and you start. Your first instinct is to start swinging. Mine, of
Yeah.
course, would be like, "Stop hitting me, I'll suck it." But yours was just like, "Come on!" and you start swinging.
Yeah.
And at that point, that's when you realize who it is. Do you even care what it's about? Have you figured it out?
You know, this was yeah.
Where'd you go?
I was gonna say somebody else that's here that saw it actually saw it.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Call him up.
You want him up now?
Yeah.
Muse.
Ladies and gentlemen, also a dude who grew up in Highlands with us and might know a thing or two about a thing or two. Give it up for Jason Muse.
Let me put my man purse down. This is what I carry in my gang. I can.
You deal with it?
Tell everybody how I took care of business, Muse.
I didn't even know Muse was there.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't
pretty
know he was there
impressive.
either.
Well, you know what? I came in a little late. I didn't see Walt get knocked out. I just remember.
He missed the millisecond.
Well, I didn't see him get hit, but I saw him like how ninjas do that thing where they're like on his feet. It was like this. Seriously, except for the flip. But I saw him get up, and that's what I saw him getting up like this, and I just saw him like going at it, and he was like. It was pretty awesome. Walt kicked it, fucked him up.
Didn't you say though you threw your shoulder?
You were
like
doing. You were windmilling, weren't you?
Oh yeah, like he was.
Yeah, he was like this. You fucking bitch! No, but I saw it and I was like, oh man, Because I was really, I mean, how much older?
I didn't even know you, probably.
So you're about 4, so yeah, I think you were what, like?
I was a senior in high school, and you probably
So you
were like, what, like
17, so I had to be like
yeah.
13
Muse was
years
3.
old. No, I was like 13, 12, 13.
No,
and I was
man, it's basically that moment in 12 Monkeys. Muse is the boy version of fucking Walt, seeing Walt throwing punches, and it's not till the end of the fight that Walt realizes young Muse is him, and fucking.
I told him the other night, I was like, if I had known, like I should have threw my sweatshirt to him like fucking Mean Joe throws the.
patting me on the head.
Thanks, Mean Walt. Were you much of a fighter? Did you get in many fights in Highlands back in the day? I know you've been in, and I've retold tales of you being in bar fights as an adult, post Clerks. But when in Highlands, did you get into many fights? Were you a Huddy Park kid?
No, but I had a gang too. It was called the.
The Siemens.
Not cool, bro. It was WFP. We used to spray paint it all over the place. Welsh Farms Posse. Yeah, we really did. Because we used to hang out in front of Welsh Farms, like me, Brian Kelly, Jamie White.
Let's see how to
Well,
fix
it's not
that.
negative stuff. It's
Hold on one second. How do we fix that hum? Who?
Show's over.
Yeah, show's
That's how
over.
you fix
Get
it.
the fuck out!
But I'm not going to say anything negative.
Here, take
these
this
are
mic,
These
take
are
this
people I hung out with, so. But yeah, so we used to hang out in front of Welsh Farms all the time, and so yeah, we started calling ourselves the Welsh Farms Posse, and we used to listen to like Minor Threat and. Are we swapped? I'm sorry. We're like, and then I went to the, and it was.
I want you to work it like a circus seal. Go.
But yeah, but we didn't have. So we didn't have a treasurer or a secretary or anything exciting. Wow. I'm gonna take that shit on the road.
I didn't know how much magic you held in your hand. All you have to do is fillet a microphone or 3.
Booty. We just went from gangs to booty. But yeah, that was that. And
What was your gang's name?
Welsh Farms Posse.
Who was you? Who? And we cut you off. Who were the members of the Welsh Farm Posse?
A dude
Try to
B,
use one name.
yeah, BK, JW. You like that little?
Yeah, that was code. You don't. You know what? You don't even have to code a lot of the names. Let's talk about that real quick. You of him and me, of Brian Walter and myself. You know a lot of people with colorful, almost comic book names, man. You're almost like Dick Tracy, because you're surrounded by. Just list the names of some of your friends, and I'm not talking like. Don't give me John Smith. Give me the weird ones.
So there's Dixon, Stinkweed.
Okay, hold on. Dixon's not that weird. Lead with Stinkweed, dude.
Well, I wanted to ease into it.
Dixon, Stinkweed. Like, you want to hit, let me see.
Stinkweed,
Yes,
Nini Balls.
There you go.
Why Nini balls though?
Mustard.
I know. that one.
Seriously, you know the mustard story,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Why Nini Balls? Because his cat, I mean, it's silly, we were younger, but he had a cat, and he'd always go, come here, Nini Balls, Nini, and he'd always like say, he used to be like, oh, Nini Balls, Nini Balls. Tick Tooth Ruth. Yes. And that's because she had like this tooth that grew out of her gum and was like, we had, I don't even know who else.
I mean, that's enough.
Yeah, Mustard, Stinkweed, Nini Balls, Tick Tooth Ruth, Shooby.
You were Shooby.
I was Shooby.
Which I just read recently online is a reference to, you know how we called people who came from out of town Bennies?
Yeah.
In a certain part of Jersey, like deep South Jersey, I guess, they call them Shoobies.
I started that.
Yeah.
I thought you told me it's because you ran around singing Shooby Doo Wop like
Yeah, why did they call you
obsessively.
Shooby?
Well, because he said that. Yeah. I used to sing Shooby with my ass, like that and Carvel. Like I used to like
Explain.
we had this like wall, this church wall in our town where everyone would like sort of go and hang out, and I used to hang out with my brother and all his older friends. That's how I met. Well, I met Bri that way, and then met these guys. But I used to hang out with them, and because they were older, they used to like hang me from the flagpole by my underwear while they like sat and drank and laughed at me and all this stuff. But they used to be like, "Do something funny." So I'd sit there, I'd pull my pants down, I'd be like, Carvel. Hold on. This way. Carvel. Ice cream. But bare naked, which I don't want to do. Now, but my ass would be out. I have hemorrhoids, so you guys wouldn't want to see that right now. Little grape on my ass. But
That's
yeah.
the only thing that's keeping you from showing everybody Carvel right here?
Well, you know, I don't know.
The people demand it.
Yeah, not decorum. It's just like, oh, I got a grape on my ass.
No, that ain't why I don't want to show it.
If I didn't have it.
I don't mind showing my hemorrhoid. People see my hemorrhoid. Kevin used to keep a Polaroid picture on his office door of me spreading my ass, and he took a picture, and seriously, it's like a close-up, and people are like, "Oh, what is that?" That's my ass.
Just
It's
to
pretty
clear
disgusting.
it up, I didn't take the picture. Ed Hapstack took the picture, and I was just like, oh, I'll take it.
I'll keep that.
And I put it on my door.
Do you remember,
Yeah.
too, for the longest time, the Highlands Bridge, before they knocked down the old one, put up the new one? I guess, was it you that spray painted?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
like on the bridge trestle, in huge letters, he spray painted Shuby. And I mean, was it even 24 hours before underneath somebody wrote sucks cock?
Yeah.
And it was there for years.
Yeah, where were we that one of you guys said that you guys did that?
That
You're like,
wasn't me.
all these years later, I'm the one who did that. Was it no, someone? No. I thought someone said, you said it? Yeah, he says, yeah, Kevin said he did it, but he still
I
didn't tell me
didn't
the
do it. I
truth.
didn't say I did it, but I remember somebody saying that they...
Oh, yeah. But anyway, so they did that, and whatever, I suck cock. It's true.
But wait, where was
There's
the
no-
Shuby?
there's no-
I understood the Carvel ice cream song, but what was...
So this Shuby was sort of the same thing. I used to go around singing the song, and I'd sing it with my ass and
what
stuff.
song is Shuby? I've never heard the song.
I mean, I don't even know. I was young. I'd just sing like shooby, shooby do wop wop, shooby. It's like, I don't even know.
And so based on that, the dudes would be like, let's call him Shuby.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, let's call him Singing Little Faggot.
Yeah. Little grape ass. Or little fuckhole. I don't know. Yeah, that's somehow it came to be, so.
And at that point, you were Shuby. Let me ask you this.
For a little.
When we were first started hanging out, when we all came together, like I met them and through the rec center in Highlands, and then I left the rec center, and you started hanging out a lot more at the rec center and hanging out with them, and they started telling me all about you, and then slowly you gravitated into the group and whatnot. And then they kind of abandoned you, and then you started coming to my house being like, hey, what do you want to do? And I'm like, we're not friends. You're friends with my friends, but that's kind of where it goes. You're like, okay, so what do you want to do? So we started hanging out more and more. Anyway, in any event, and then Walter was kind of, had been dating Debbie pretty deeply at that point, going steady, as they say.
Right.
So he wasn't around a lot, but when he was kind of in on this conversation as well. And the conversation is this: you were a virgin up until when? Like
Almost 18.
almost, which is weird because if you know Muse, he's just the king of debauchery. But back then you weren't, and you were always like, I'm straight edge, man. No booze, no drugs, no women. And I'm like, I don't think women's part of the straight edge. Both, dude. That's the gay edge.
Well, he never stopped talking about pussy long enough to actually do something about it.
This dude was obsessive about pussy, and he would talk about pussy like a Rhodes Scholar. But yet you weren't very familiar with it.
No.
What took so long? And we would sit there, and rather than be good friends about it, we would just make fun of you constantly. But what was it? What kept you from taking the dive? Why all talk, no action?
And because he was spreading his asshole on
Yeah, it was.
your fucking
It really was. Part of it was that. I think a lot of well, for one, because when it came down to it, I would never have the balls to make the move. But also because a lot of times girls would be like, yeah, you know, you're awesome and you're fun to hang out with, but I don't want to hook up with you. So I'd hang out with a lot of girls, but no one would
That
want
ringing,
to.
you keep hearing that ringing.
Yeah, it's real fucking bad.
No one would want to hang out with me. No one. I don't know what it is, but no one would want to. No one would. What the fuck? So no one would.
Where are you
want
going?
Well, see, anytime I talk, it makes this weird hum, right?
I know, but you can't keep backing up from the mic because then we won't hear you. Just try to hear.
Oh, it's you too.
Yeah, but yours.
Okay, anyway, so no one wanted to fuck me because I would run around like singing with my asshole and I'd pull my cock out in class. I used to like pull my dick at it, like I'd get a hard on and I'd pull my dick out to the top of my belt buckle and then I'd be like, hey, Carrie, come here. And she'd walk over, she'd be like, what? And I'd be like, what's this right here? And she'd be like, you're fucking disgusting. And so like shit like that I'd do. Look at that. That wasn't me though. I think it's a sound system and that's someone else's fucking fault.
Go back on track.
So yeah, I would do that kind of stuff. So they, they would want to hang out. They think I was funny and they'd be like, yeah, let's go do this and let's go to the beach and hang out and drink and whatever. But no one wanted to fuck me. And even if they did sort of maybe want to, like, here's a good example. With this girl, Holly, that I really wanted to hook up with, she's like, let's say I start hanging out with her. And we go up to her house and like we go swimming, me and my buddy Horvey. And we're sitting there and we're leaving and she's like walking down the street to the corner. She's like, I'll walk you to the corner. So we get to the corner and we're sitting there talking and like a half hour goes by and I want to kiss her, but I'm so nervous to kiss her. And finally Horvey's like, dude, come on, I want to go fucking kiss her already. So I remember her and I both got really nervous and we both were like this. Like say her head's this way and you maybe do that. We both were like, and then we like went in for it and then our fucking teeth slammed into each other and shit. And I was like all nervous and shit. I was like shaking. I was like, and she was like, okay, see you later. And I was like, yeah, Horvey, smell. Oh wait, I didn't get to do that. So anyway, yeah, bro, I kissed her. And I was like, smell my tongue. Yeah. You remember when you were in fucking high school and dudes would be like, dude, I finger bang Lisa, bro. Anyway, I always thought that was disgusting. So finally, I do it. Which is so random.
It's weird that you felt the need to go back and explain it after clearly we all got it. And you were like, just in case, for the slow, sometimes you sniff fingers for pussy back in the day.
Well, it's an odd thing when you think about it, right? Would you ever do that now if you were single?
I still do it, man.
Would you?
Totally. When Moshe comes over for Smodcast, I'm like, smell my finger. I just fucked Jenny.
I just fucked the fleshlight. Smell. This is dry. This is my cum for a week. How's it smell? But yeah, so that's how it was. I was super nervous to really make a move, and I would be all talk. I'd be like, I'm gonna fuck this bitch, and then I'd get alone, and I'd be like, I don't know. I was real nervous back then. Anyway, I was real nervous.
You're going back to your oddly named friends. We stopped with Nene Balls. Why was Stinkweed named Stinkweed?
Because his grandmother, like there was a bunch of people at his house. He had a pool. Like in our town, there was only a few people with pools. It was that I remember anyway. So we'd all go to Stinkweed's house to go swimming. And one time his grandma came out and she's like, Stink. She's like, oh my gosh, you're getting so tall. You're growing like a stinkweed. I didn't make up the name. Someone else did.
They liked it enough to like keep it?
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Wouldn't you have been like, hey man, how about growing like a reed? Growing like a bamboo shoot, but a stinkweed?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not the classical use of like...
I assumed it was just because he had some like bad Mary Jane or something.
Yeah, no, it was when he was young. Mary Jane. Then we would call them... No. I don't know, but yeah, I don't get their names. But they're all younger, so they were sort of like... They were like pet names.
And you guys would in your once again your gang name was what? Reaching Wave.
WFP.
WFP. What kind of shenanigans?
That's an acronym. No, I'm just kidding.
Not really.
I think it's
Doesn't
just
an acronym
initials,
spell
dude.
something?
Unless it's like the word is woof. What did Woof get up to back in the day? What did you do? What were the shenanigans you and Stinkweed and Nini Balls would get into?
Convincing themselves
We'd
to
go
be
down to
straight
the-
edge, and
we'd
that's
go-
why they weren't getting any ass.
We'd go down
We
to the
heard
beach
the
and
other
fuck.
day. We heard on a Smodcast on the Smod and Steve Dave how you and Nini Balls were comfortable enough to jerk off in front of one another while looking at one another furtively. What else? Along those lines, what else did you have?
What else did I have? What else did I do
Oh,
with
stories,
him? That's
dude.
gonna-
I'm opening
Oh,
the
stories.
door
stories.
wide for you here.
Oh, stories. Speaking of the gang, it's pretty funny because do you remember back behind the park where Walter got in a fight? There's I don't know, it was like the shit house and stuff, and then there was the woods that went up there. And
Wait. Explain
The shit house.
the shit house, the sewer like thing that pumped all the
You
shit through
shouldn't
the
explain
house.
it.
Yeah,
You
and
explain the shit house.
The shit house.
You're fucking unintelligent.
The shit house was by a park. The park had a basketball court and swings and stuff, and it looked like a giant greenhouse, basically, where with it was all glass with window panes and shit. And it was weird that it was located so close to a playground because it was in use back then in the 80s, and it smelled like shit.
It was
Being
where
the
they
shit
put
house.
all the sewage and the
Everything pumped through there,
pumps
yeah, it
through
was like a
there,
waste
gets treated
station.
before it goes out, and it was literally right next to a fucking playground.
My description was better. He just gave details of what it looked like. He was like, it was a house. It
You
had
said
a
the shit
round
house and
roof.
then moved
It had a
on.
round
So
roof.
any
Fucking
explanation was
definition,
better.
My very definition, his description was then better because he gave details, as you said.
Of the house.
You were just like, we were near a shit house anyway. One time, Take Two Fruit and fucking Nini Balls were standing
Well, who
there and
cares
singing
about-
Shooby Doo.
Carvel.
I was
Was
just
that a grape
trying
on
to-
my ass?
I was just trying to give details of where it would be so you guys would understand. The shit house doesn't really mean much.
Since you're also fucking familiar with Highlands.
Well, I wanted you
If
to
I'm a
know.
paying member of the audience and you're going like, you roll over shit house, I'm like, what the fuck? Do an hour on the shit house. That sounds amazing.
Do you still understand what the shit house is? Yeah.
Now they do because fucking is
because I explained it.
He did. Fuck you. Anyway,
So the shit house where shit is processed through, that is shaped like the glass house. There's a bunch of woods that go up into this hill because there's lower Highlands, which is right by the water, and there's like 3 entrances going in downtown. But anyway, there's a hill going up to the highway, and there's another hill, and that's where Johnson lives. See, I'm giving a lot of details. So anyway, that woods, there was all these like little. You can go hang out there, and people started building forts and shit, which were pretty awesome. So they built some forts, and there were some forts, and we'd go play back there and throw rocks at shit and do stupid stuff. And I remember one time we were up there, and all of a sudden we hear like through the trees and shit, and we're looking around like, what the fuck? All of a sudden more and more, and all of a sudden it's like, I can't say their names, but I guess I can say Banks. And a couple other people, and all of a sudden they like grab us and they have those. Let me tell you.
once again, dude, you're just rolling over shit. Like,
Let me tell you.
skipped the whole. We were held captive.
No, I'm gonna keep going.
Well, get to
So
the
I was
part
saying
where they captured you.
they ran up and they grabbed us and they, like a 6-pack, those little plastic.
Hog-tied
things.
you?
The little plastic circle things for cans of 6-packs. Yeah. They took them and they folded them over in 3 and they wrapped them around our wrist behind our backs.
And I mean, what?
And we couldn't. Yeah, I swear to God, like behind
Did
the
you
tree.
fight? Did you struggle?
Well, yeah, but it was like me and Nini Balls, and like we're younger. it's like Shooby and Nini Balls versus fucking Banks and blah 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 blah. And we're like sitting there, and we're like, what the fuck, dudes? And they're like, you're on our turf. Why are you fucking with our fort, dude? And they're like, poof, poof, and they start punching us in the stomach and shit.
What?
I swear to God.
How old are you?
I swear. I mean, maybe 12,
They
13.
were on the demon's turf.
Dude, really, we were up messing with their fort. And we were up in their turf.
How old
dude.
were they at
See,
the
that's
time?
a real fucking gang, motherfucker. You get held captive.
got your ass
You
kicked.
get held. So what? I still took a beating like a fucking man. Because afterwards I left and I was like, fuck them motherfuckers, right, Nene Balls? Let's go play with our G.I. Joe aircraft carrier.
Or
Okay,
jerk
bro?
off together. One
Or
of
we
the
can
two.
jerk off watching black chicks. Who cares? That's a porno movie that I used to watch and jerk off with my friend. Anyway.
That you can gloss
Hold
over.
on, man. Hold on. I know you've done it elsewhere, but you can't roll over that one. Tell them a real condensed version of Black Chicks, would you?
So my brother was watching this movie, and I'm like, me and my buddy were at my house, and we hear in the room like, black chicks, black chicks, love big dicks, and everybody loves black chicks, and then it goes on to this like whole hook and stuff, which I don't remember, but I'm like, dude, that song's awesome, right? And I'm like, knocking my brother's door. I'm like, what are you watching? He's like, get the fuck out of here. Later on, I ask him, and he's like, dude, it's a porno. He's like, I'm like, dude, I want that for the song. Will you go rent it again? Because he had brought it back when he told me. He's like, I already returned the video. I'm like, dude, I want to get the song. So he's like, all right. So he brings it back. He's like, here, me and my buddy Jamie's in our living room, and we are Nene Balls, and we put the video in, and we're like, oh, dude, let's fast forward it. And oh, there's a song, Black Chicks, and me and him were like fucking dancing to it and shit. And we're like sitting there, and then we're like dancing, and we like.
Wait, how old were you? How old?
It was last week, dude. Fuck
No,
you.
how old were you?
No, I was kidding. No, I don't. Again, 13. This is all
Okay.
like between 12 and 14.
This is right after you were
my
held
time
captive.
frame. After I held captive. I was like, fuck him. Fuck these motherfuckers. Let's watch Black Chicks. That porno that we love so much. Black Chicks. Love big dicks. And then, so we're watching it, and the song's over, and we rewind it, and we listen to the song again. But then this time we let it play a little bit longer, and there's like, all of a sudden it's like, hey, bitch, let's fuck. You got my pizza? And then all of a sudden, like they start getting into it, and it's like, and me and him like pull the pillow up on the living room floor and shit, and I'm like, yeah, cool, this is awesome, right? And all of a sudden I start getting a woody, we're both on our stomachs, and I like lean to the back, and I go like this, and I start fucking jerking my dick and shit, and I'm watching it, but I'm like on the side jerking it. I'm fucking jerking
And you're
it.
looking over first.
Yeah, I'm like looking to make sure he's not watching me and shit, because I feel a little gay
that
as
would
it
be
is
gay.
already. It would be gay because we're staring at each other. So I'm jerking and jerking, and then I come and I'm like, and then I feel really, really gay after that. Like, it wasn't that bad until I came, and then I just felt really filthy, and I come and I'm like, this movie sucks, dude. And he's like, yeah, bro, yeah. And then we left and shit, and we went
Did
to
Jamie
the
come?
Army. I don't know. I'm assuming he did, because I felt shit on my back of my ear. I was like, oh, no, but yeah, so I'm not sure if he did, but that's that story. And I mean, Jesus, I don't even know. I remember also Walt told me when I was younger that that every male in their life, or I guess women too, have like at least like 30 seconds where they think about a cock.
No, he
Or
said,
a vagina.
He said where you're gay. You're flat out
You're gay for, like-
It's beyond your control.
Yeah, and he had me thinking about that for fucking years and years after. And I remember one time, and I never even told you guys this, there's that dude named Pete something, and I can't remember his last name, and I probably shouldn't say it, but I remember we were in the house, and he started getting naked, and I'm like, dude, I gotta get out of here, because I'm like, what if that 30 seconds to a minute happens right now, and I just start sucking his cock? Like fucking what the, so I fucking just jet out of my house and shit, and I'm like fucking sitting outside, I'm like, I'll be outside, dude. I'm gonna go look at Black Chicks.
Wait a minute, where did this Pete come from?
Yeah,
Here's
why is he
another
taking his
dude I
clothes
hung
off
out
in your house?
What?
Why was he taking his clothes off in your house?
Because
Glossing over shit right and left.
Well, because he slept over it and he peed the bed.
He pissed the bed?
He pissed the bed. We had like cushion. We had cushions on the.
Wait a minute.
It was. I grew up at one area where I slept was at my aunt's house, and my aunt, I slept on one of those fucking cots, like the hospital cots that fold up like this. Like that's what I slept on. My fucking all of a sudden, and we used to, and our couch was a fucking like those styrofoam like fold up, like they fold over like this, and they have the little pillow in the back, and then you can like fold them back over so they're like a bed, and then they're a couch. They're like before futons came out. They're like the poor man's futon.
It was a bunch of egg cartons stacked up.
Yeah. So that's he was sleeping on that, and I woke up and he like was folding it up real quick. And he's like, I go, dude, what's wrong? He's like, don't tell your aunt, but I pissed the bed. And I was like, oh, and he's like, do you have a change of clothes? So I gave him clothes, and then he started getting naked in front of me, and I was like, pee in my mouth, bitch. No, but so yeah, that happened too, and but I remember really thinking about that for a while, dude.
Tell it in
It's
context,
crazy.
though. I sound like some sort of weirdo. I'm like, everybody's gay for 30 seconds.
Well, that's what it was. Remember, you pulled me in the bathroom, and you were like, everybody's gay. It was at the community center that he worked at, and I was just a wee boy going to play, and he's like, come in the bathroom, Jason. Do you see this game in the urinal? Timmy said to play this, as do I. Everyone's gay for just a minute.
Because he
you
was
remember
like
the little
14. You were like 14 when he told you that, right?
Yeah, like that.
He was running around, like, screaming at the top of his lungs how much he loved pussy, and I just told him, I don't even remember the context of it, but I just to scare the fuck out of him. I was like, don't worry about it. Everybody goes through it. You're gonna have that moment of doubt. You're gonna really have a gay thought.
It was a very fatherly delivery. Right?
It's sort of, when you think back, it was sort of like he's like, everybody has that moment. He pulled his dick out. He's like, it could be now.
I didn't realize I had fucking terrified you, like left such a scar on your...
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Do you remember?
Literally scared straight.
Yeah. Do you remember when the three of us got into like sort of a little tiff because I had a card?
Oh shit!
Yes.
Dude, we used to play foosball all the time, and Walter would give me his crappy comics, but at the time I thought they were like $100 a piece, and he'd be like, if you beat me, you can have this comic. Kevin used to do the same thing, so I'd be like, playing, and then I'd win, and I'd be like, fuck yeah, and they'd be like, here, and then I'd be like, I got the best comics, but really they were going to throw away.
Someone labor so hard for like a new universe #1, Vigilante 18, like fucking 50 cent, 25 cent books, man. And you give them to him, and the beautiful thing about the Muse is that he would never turn around and be like, this fucking sucked. You'd be like, how was that comic? He was like, it was awesome.
I would intentionally give him the fucking worst drivel just to see him come back the next day and go, that was fucking awesome. You got any more?
It was really, really sweet, man. There was no such thing as a bad comic for you. You were just like, if it's in color and they got words on it, I liked it.
But remember, we were collecting trading cards, superhero trading cards.
Marvel had started doing trading cards at that point.
And and
they
Muse,
did holographic chase cards in one per pack or something.
like one per case. And Muse got the coveted Wolverine hologram card. And me and you both needed it to complete our set.
We did.
It was ugly.
It was so ugly. It was something out of a fucking O. Henry short story. It's true. Like we both, and neither of us were really card collectors either. We were comics.
We got caught up
collectors.
in it.
What is it?
We got caught up in the chase.
And we both needed that one card. And then both of us started really being like, hi, Jay. And buddying up to the motherfucker with the worst comics in Highlands. And so what happened? How did it come down? And
I made a bet with him that if I could shut him out in foosball, and he was a good foosball player for a younger guy.
Totally.
But I bet him that if I shut him out, he had to give me the card. And I couldn't shut him out up until that point.
And I wasn't there.
And you weren't at the rec center that afternoon. So I said, if I shut you out, I get the card. If you get one goal against me, I'll give you 100 comics. And he took the bet and he lost, and he was fucking devastated. He was more devastated, I think, because the fact that I think he was like closer to you.
Yeah.
And the fact that he gave it to me instead of you,
right.
It crushed his fucking soul.
Fucking Judas, man.
But like he manned up though. He honored the bet and he brought it in the next day, and I got the card.
then I think you got a little upset at. I don't remember exactly, but I think
he was
you got a little
pissed.
upset on.
He was pissed.
Who was I upset at?
You were upset at. I think you were upset at him for
Yeah,
taking
me.
the bet. I don't think you.
But you knew I
How did
wanted
you
that.
get off the hook?
I
how
fucking
wasn't I-
won. I wanted the card. Why should you get the card?
Well, why couldn't we have shared it? 6 months it's in your collection, 6 months it's in mine. You went behind my back. I wasn't there. You were like, I'm going to win that card. Give me the card. He's not here. Give
He
me the
took
card.
advantage of me, just like in the bathroom.
You were pretty upset about that.
I was definitely mad. I don't remember being how mad I was, but I remember being mad. But I don't remember who I was mad at, whether it was you or him.
You're mad at him, and I remember he came to me and he was like, "Well, Moves is really mad at me. You think I can get that card back?" Fuck off. You bet, you lost. Pay the consequences.
He always did pay up. I remember in foosball, he lost. He had to wear the same clothes for a week.
It was Sportstown.
Sportstown, yeah, a cutoff shirt with this fucking weird generic character with like a basketball, a tennis racket. It said Sportstown in the dead of summer. It's like 100 degrees every day with fucking humidity, and he had to wear the same shirt for a week
5
straight.
days in a row.
Yeah, at the rec. Yeah.
It was the worst, like Bradley's Kmart knockoff, like T-shirt
Yeah.
of a cartoon dog holding all sorts of sports paraphernalia, and it said Sports Hound.
Stunk to high.
That really was putting a crimp in his pussy plans that fucking week.
I hope that Gay 30 Seconds comes by. I want to get some action this summer.
If who comes back?
I think I had to wear that to Great Adventure on one of our trips this summer. I think so. That was horrible. Why you guys abused me? Fuck.
It wasn't abuse, but you
It wa-
definitely
No, I'm
we
kidding.
found like so you could take a punch, so to speak. Like we would take those trips to the comic book conventions, and we didn't even care about shopping at a certain point. It was like, let's just take the trip and go as far away as we can, just that we have as much time in the car with him on the way home, so we can make fun of him mercilessly and shit. It was just trips where we would go to conventions and then spend the entire trip back from the convention talking about every which way Muse was going to suck the cock of every dealer on the
For the worst comics on earth.
Vigilante 18. You already got that one.
It was just a never-ending series of like, there was a dealer named, well, we didn't know their names, we called him Blotchy, because very unoriginal, he had blotchy skin. He had some sort of psoriasis condition and shit.
Maybe that's where that comes from, that fear. you
Fear
have of
from a
psoriasis.
child. They said they were gonna make me fuck him. No, I enjoyed the, because I totally remember that the weird thing is I think I like always wanted to hang out with older kids. So I'd like go hang out with my brother, like I said, for a while, and they abused me, but they didn't do fun. They abused me and they didn't do fun stuff. Like they'd go to the beach and drink, or go up to the hill and drink and like not do anything fun. You guys at least like would take trips to New York to comic shows, and you guys would like watch movies and go to the video store and do fun stuff. So I wanted to hang out with you guys so bad, so I'd take their abuse. It's so fucking sad. What the fuck?
I kind of feel bad now.
You made me do jobs. No, I'm just kidding. It's all your fucking fault.
I remember a story, and I don't think this is you, and so be careful with the name telling, but what was the story of somebody who had sex and then jumped off the dock to get away?
Oh yes, that was. Well, yeah, it doesn't matter. I know he went and carried stinkweed, but I don't remember the girl's name, which is fine. But she was. Yeah, he had sex with her at his house, and he lived like a block from the beach. So he's like, let's. After they were done, he didn't know what to do with her. He didn't really want to hang out with her. So he's like, hey, man, let's go down to the dock and we'll go swimming, because we used to be able to go down and swim. All of us lived right on a beach, and we'd swim, and there was docks, and It was fun jumping off the dock. So he's like, let's go swimming. So he brought her down there, and he's like, oh, she's like, I don't really want to go swimming. She's like, but I'll sit here and watch you. So he jumped in and like came back up, and then jumped in and then came back up. Like there's ladders, and then he jumped in, and then he just drifted down. Like, he just drifted down with the current down like 3-4 beaches and shit, and then fucking ran up, and yeah, he just wanted to get away. My friend Stinkweed, I remember, he used to really just did not care. He would have sex with horrifying women. Like, he just didn't care. If they were interested and they wanted to have sex, he would do it. It was amazing.
What a fuck up.
What?
What a fuck up. Like he would bang like old ladies, shit like that.
Yeah, like fucking make out with 65-year-old women.
The way you describe Stinkweed is the way we describe you. Like, this motherfucker would fuck anything.
No. I have a little bit of taste.
Didn't you? Was it the first girl ever? Didn't you? The one with the boyfriend?
I was at Stinkweed's house. It was up in his grandmother's bathroom. And I remember she said this. So we go in the bathroom and like fooling around and shit. And she knew that I was a virgin, and like we're messing around.
The grandmother knew?
No, the girl knew. Yeah. She knew too, though. She was like, "You little virgin, fuck." My grandson gets so much more pussy than you.
Stinkweed has an escape plan.
Yeah. So he's smart enough to have an escape plan. He fucks. But we were in the bathroom. We were in the bedroom, in her bedroom, and she had a bathroom, and it was like a master bedroom. And we were sitting there, and we were making out in there, and blah, blah, blah. And then I remember, like, we're taking her clothes off, and she's like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. You don't even know what you're doing. And I was like, oh, all right, but we should do it anyway, right? And I remember I fucked her.
Hard.
Oh, it didn't matter, dude. It was. I was already about to come before she got her clothes off. And I remember she sat down on the toilet seat, and I was on my knees, and I like put my cock in, and I was like, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'll do better next time. She's like, yeah, right.
That was the first sex?
Yeah.
Was
in a bathroom on a toilet seat for about, I'd say maybe I gave it like 3, I gave it a half hole. half hole. It was amazing.
Was she the girl that cried?
No, that was another girl. Oh my God. This girl said I don't even know I could tell that story. That scares me. Thinking back, it frightens me. Anyway.
Tell the fucking story, man. She cried. Yeah, it's a hell of a story.
It's a great story. I'll tell it another time. So this girl I used to go up, she lived in Long Branch, and we live in Highlands, which is like a 15-minute car ride, but I didn't have a car back then, so I used to like get people to give me rides or do whatever I did. So I'd go see her, and we'd meet, and we'd hang out, and we'd fool around and stuff. And then I didn't see her for like 2 years. I forget what happened. I'm just gonna make it short. But then I like ran into her somewhere, and we were hanging out at like some party in Long Branch. And then she was like, hey, let's hang out. So it was me and like 2 of my buddies and like 4 of her girlfriends, and we all went down to, we went to a hotel that was closer. It was Eatontown, which is another 5 minutes away. And we were in the hotel, and everyone's partying, drinking, and doing stuff. And we're in the bathroom, and we're talking, and we start making out. And then we have sex. And as soon as we were done having sex for that 2.5 minutes, she was like, and like I'm trying to be nice and spoon her, because I really just want to get up, and I'm like, thanks, bitch. But I just, I want to be nice and try to spoon like I care a little bit, and we're sitting there and just
should have signed the Carvel song, cheer her up.
Yeah, if I only got up and was like, Carvel, bitch. I fucked you, bitch.
Or found a dock to jump off and float away.
I just jump out the hotel window. But she gets up and she storms out, and she's kind of like, what the fuck? I really was. I was like, I don't know what the fuck just happened. So like I'm like sitting there, and I go into the room next door where my buddy is, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what just happened, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, a friend comes over and like bangs on the door, and she goes, "Motherfucker, I can't believe you did that to her." And I'm like, "What do you mean? What happened?" She's like, "She said you made her have sex with you. You raped her." And
Well,
I'm
that
like,
part
what?
I don't remember.
Yeah, no, I swear to God, dude. I swear to God. And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? I was like, you were there. We were fooling around in front of you and stuff. And we went in the bathroom because like there was people around. And I was like, you saw, like, what are you talking about? She's like, she didn't want to. And I was like, no. And then I went back in there. I was like, wait, what are you talking about? She's like, just leave me alone, Jason. And like storms off and they leave. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what the fuck just happened. And I'm sorry, I didn't rape her. I swear to God.
That is not the story I was talking about.
That's the story there? No. So then.
Oh, hurry! Get
So then, like a
police on speed dial.
No. So then, like my friend, like a couple of days go by, and they do leave, and we leave, and I'm like, holy fuck! And then I'm like, jeez. My friend calls her and goes, "What happened?" And she's like, "Just tell Jason not to call me. Tell him I'm sorry, but just tell him not to call me." And he's like, "All right." So they hang up. And then like a week later, man, I'm driving. It's me and my friend Ethan. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Me and my friend Ethan and Stinkweed. And we're in his pickup truck. And we're at the corner and all of a sudden we see, we drive by Cumberland Farms and these couple girls in town that walk up and down. And it's like 6 guys talking to them. And I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? Because in our town, like you pretty much know everybody. And you can notice someone standing out that's not from town. Cool. And then we're like, whatever, they're talking to these guys. And we drive down the street and we're at a stop sign. And all of a sudden a car pulls up in front and a car pulls up behind us. And we're like blocked in and we're like, what the fuck? And they all surround the car and the dude was like, roll down the window. And he's like, yo, the girls back there, these girls down the street just said that Jay Muse is in this car. And we're like, what? And they're like, is Jay Muse in the car? And I'm like, nah, man, we just saw him like down by Huddy Park. He's like down by Huddy Park with a couple of his buddies. And they're like, all right. And we're like, well, why? What happened? What happened? He's like, he fucked my girlfriend. And we're like, oh, fuck. We're like, okay, well, go get him. He's down at E Park, bro. And so they leave, and I'm fucking shitting. We go to my friend Stinkweed's house, and, we barricade the doors. And they came back to town, fucking the next week again, and I saw him driving through town, and luckily, I was in a store, and I was close to home, and I ran home like a little pussy. There was 2 carloads of them. There was, 7 or 8, 6, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. There was, 3 of us, and they were all... Anyway, then it just winds up being that, then my buddy calls and is like, what the fuck happened? She had a boyfriend, and she wanted to fuck, but then after we fucked, just like I said, you ever meet someone and they're maybe not attractive, but you find yourself sleeping with them and it seems like a good idea because you're all sweaty and you're going at it, and then you come and you're like,
wait, do you feel
bad
that way
idea.
about... That's the way you felt about her, or she felt about you?
Bad idea. She felt that way because she was dating someone and she cheated on him. Okay. But she liked me. We had dated years before that. About a year before that, we had dated. We were seeing each other, whatever. And then she started dating a guy, and then she ran into me, and I fucking was like this. Hey. And her fucking pussy was like, fuck him. Fuck him.
And your ass was like, shooby, shooby.
I was like, Carvel. Her pussy was like, yes. Anyway, but that was the story. And they wind up not coming back, and it was just that, and that's that really. So that's what it was.
Not the story I was talking about.
What story are you talking about? Are you talking about the other one where someone threw a brick at me?
No, not that one either.
That's the brick story I know?
Yeah, the brick story where I was like, Kevin, someone threw a brick at me. There was 8 guys from town after me because I sent flowers to one of the guy's girlfriends, but they weren't dating anymore.
Motherfuckers, stay away from girls, man.
That's why I got married.
I guess. Trouble, nothing but trouble. This is in Highlands. That was in Leonardo.
Yes.
That was when I was working at the Quick Stop.
Yes.
You were working at RST.
Yes.
You sent flowers to some girl?
Yeah, I sent to this girl, Jen. I hooked up with her. We hung out, and Stinkweed was dating her friend, and they Stinkweed's like, yo, so-and-so's coming, and she's bringing her friend. So we went out, blah, 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 and we made out and shit, and then her friend's like, that she just broke up with her boyfriend 2 days ago or whatever. And she's like, yeah, I hate him. I'm never getting back with him. So whatever, we hung out a couple more times. And then she's like, I might get back with my boyfriend. I'm like, sure, whatever. So then, but then like a month later, she's like, we're not talking. She calls me. She's like, we're not talking anymore again. He's a fucking asshole. And I was like, all right. So we hung out again, like 3-4 days in a row.
When you say hang out, is that euphemism for did you have sex?
Oh, I teabagged her. I finger banged her bunghole, tongued her butt. No, but I don't, I don't even. So
but did you have sex?
Oh yeah, we fucked.
No, that's an important detail. Like you just go, we hung out.
Well, I'm just trying to again. I feel like I'm hogging up to the whole piece here, but I'm just trying to make it quick. Then I don't know. I fucked her and I wanted to be a little nice, and I sent her some flowers and said, "Here's for the fuck," And her boyfriend. You know what, too? I am a dick because I sort of wanted to, rub it in dude's face because he called me. He's like, yo, you better stop talking to my girl. I was like, look, dude, I'll do this. I won't call her, but if she calls me, what can I do? She wants to cock. I can't block her calls. She's going to want, what
So I said, I'm warning you, Muse, don't do it again.
So anyway, he wasn't even friends with these cats. He just went to school with these guys. They used to hang out in front of the store and shit. They were like the Welsh Farms posse, but the Leonardo fucking Quick Stop posse.
They were the alternate dimension version of your gang.
Exactly, the Bizarro.
Yes.
And so then, he told them, he's like, yo, man, you know that dude that works at the RST, man? He said you're all scumbags, and you're all pieces of shit, and that's why you hang out in front of the store, and blah, 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 blah. So they come in one day, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, can I help you? Would you like a video? Would you like a fucking Top Gun? No, but anyway, they're like, hey, motherfucker, you say shit about fucking Leonardo, motherfuckers?
How many people?
There's about 4, 5, 6 of them. I don't even know. There's 5 of them.
And this is a small store, man.
Yeah.
So even if one person's in there, you're feeling crowded. But the way he described it, because the way you told the story, and the way I saw it, because when you came in, I looked out the window and I saw a scattering of people. There were 10 people in that store.
There might have been.
And
I was trying to play it down.
That's 10 people fitting into
Like a bathroom.
Or a 4x2 space and shit.
Yeah.
First they all had to cram in shoulder to shoulder and arrange themselves and then threaten.
Yeah, and I was behind the counter like that, like this. So the counter's about as long as this piece. Maybe a little longer. And I'm sitting there. Yeah, they definitely filled it. It's probably about the size from here. It's from the end of the table here to the end of the fucking stage. And there's picture 7 people right there. And I'm just like, what's up, bro? And they're like, hey, motherfucker. And the one dude picks up a paper towel roll and he throws it at me and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, what, bitch? And then the other dude's like, pooh, and tries to spit on me. I'm like, what, motherfucker?
Wait. They come in.
I really wasn't like that.
Wait. They call you motherfucker. They start throwing and spitting, or they start telling you what they're there for.
Yeah, they tell me what they're there for. They're like, hey,
an important part of the story.
No, but it was dude, it was a long time ago, but it was sort of back and forth. They're like, hey, motherfucker, we heard you talking shit about Leonardo. Boom, throwing paper towel at me. He's like, yeah,
Did
what,
they bring the
motherfucker?
paper towels, or is that what their choice to bring?
Well,
the
it was
fucking
on the
paper towel?
counter.
Okay, all
You
right.
bring a chain, you bring a pipe, Benny, you bring the paper towel. It can be used as a weapon or clean up after the fight.
So, yeah, it was just there. And so that dude grabbed it and he tossed it. Because this is of course, as always, there's one dude talking. And this is every fight I've ever been with. And there's always 5 or 6 of them. Because there's another story where a gun got pulled on me for a girl. But anyway, there's always one guy talking. And there's this guy and he's like, blah, 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 doing all the talking. The other guys are like, yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, motherfucker. And the dude throws a paper towel roll. And I'm like, dude, what's up? Whatever. He's like, yo, man. I'm like, who told you this shit? And they're like, I forget the kid's name. And I was like, well, dude, that's because I fucked his old lady. And he's like, bullshit, motherfucker. And the one dude tries to spit on me. And they're like, if you ever talk shit again, we're going to kick your ass. And he's like, look, are you scared? I'm like, I am scared, dude. There's 7 of you. And the one dude's like, I'll take you on myself.
And you got paper towels.
And I'm like, I don't believe that you'll only fight me. I think they'll all jump in. And he's like, fuck you. And they start walking out. And then the last dude, I can't bring the mic with me, but the last dude, they walk out the door and they're like, and then the last dude is like this. He's like, yo, and he throws a fucking brick at me. Of course I ducked the toilet paper, I ducked the spit, but when the big brick comes at me, I'm just like, boom. So that hit me, and of course.
So it wasn't, what, motherfucker?
Yeah, it wasn't. It was like soft toilet paper roll, miss, spit, miss. It was like a fucking hard-boiled egg. I was like, miss. It was like a cum sock, miss, and then it's like fucking cinder block. Anyway, so then the dude was like, and they ran, and then of course I had to go to Highlands and go, and all those dudes wind up apologizing to me because Moses, which I could say because that's not his first name or last name. But anyway, Moses and all I don't know what names I could say. I'm confused about it. But all these guys that I hang out, like sort of were the bad boys in our town or whatever, went and saw them in Leonardo at the beach and was like, yo, why you fucking with Muse? Anyway, but that was that story.
That's as far as they went in your behalf.
It's like, like the end of Conan. You're like, but that's a story for another time.
Well, dude, I feel like I've been doing all the time,
You're like a fucking, it's like we uncorked the fucking genie or something, man. Let you out of the bottle and shit. You grab the mic, you're like, and then another thing happened, and I'll tell you this happened.
Oh, I'll tell you this later. 2
minutes ago, this happened to me.
Do you remember?
You're like a fucking slot machine that keeps giving, dude.
Do you remember getting back to being nervous about kissing girls? Do you remember? It was you two, right? And the sad thing is that girl passed away. But remember, like her cousin was in town, and we were at her house, and they were in the bathroom. And you're like, go ahead, go in and kiss her. Weren't you guys there? Was it not you? It was you guys. Do you not remember?
Him?
I don't remember.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Sorry, I think it was Ed and you, I think, and we drove up to that house.
The one party where you went in the bathroom?
Yes, and then you were like sitting in there listening in, and you're like, dude, fucking kiss her, dude. Wasn't that you? And what's your name? Do you know what's your name passed away, right? That one. Anyway, it's sad.
It's a ride with you, dude, because you bring us to comedic heights and then depress us with rape and death.
I sometimes forget that I'm still catching up with you guys because I haven't seen these guys in a while, so I'm like sort of catching up and telling stories.
Her first name.
Is that how you catch up with people by telling them 20-year-old stories?
Yes.
I was lost on the fucking guy
I
who
just
pissed
didn't
in
know.
his bed. I haven't even caught up since then.
Since when?
I haven't caught up to any of your stories since the guy you found pissed in your bed.
Why did Pete piss on your bed?
Oh, and the cock that I wanted to suck for a minute?
Yeah. I'm still trying. I can't. You're jumping all over the place.
That story, dude. What happened to the piss comfort bed thing, the foldy bed?
He left and I sucked his cock. No, I gave him some clothes, he got dressed and he left, and then like after he left, I told my aunt, and I was like, he pissed the bed and I'm sorry about it, he's embarrassed.
But you're like, I'm happy to report I was not attracted to it.
What was wrong? He was wrong. All these years he was wrong. I am not gay. Anyway.
So wait a second. You ended on the other story with the girl who... What was her first or last name?
I think it was Rachel. Was it Rachel?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just remember that story again because it was back then, and I remember we all went and hung out, and I think someone was maybe hooking up with one of the females, and I was there, and her cousin was there hanging out, and she was sort of interested, but I was, again, too scared. I was just getting back to it. I was really scared of vagina back then. I would talk it, but I was scared.
But you almost braved a bullet for it?
Braved a bullet? Oh, yes, that was that was another story. And again, they were fucking tricked. These guys were tricked because they said I was calling them the N-word. And the girl that I was seeing, I was at her house, and one of the guys liked her, and they came over, and she's like, look, you gotta go, my boyfriend's here. And they were like, fuck him. So they leave, and then we're hanging out a little longer, and me, Brian, and Stinkweed again are walking through the A&P parking lot, and all of a sudden a truck pulls up. And these excuse me, two guys get out of the truck, but the one stays in, the kid that came by who likes the girl I'm seeing. And the guy's like, yo, motherfucker, I heard you were calling us the N-word. And they were saying the word. And they were like, motherfucker, what? What? I was like, dude, what are you talking about?
Wait a
Like, I
second,
don't
were
even know
these
you
black
guys.
dudes?
Yes.
Because I know the other story, all those dudes were white, and your black dudes and white dudes sound the exact same. Both groups were like, hey, motherfucker.
Oh, you mean my
We got no weapons.
hey, motherfuckers. Hey, motherfucker, she.
My point is, your white people sound like that too. Whenever you're threatened, people go urban.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. I don't mean to. Dude, why you gotta put me down again now? It's like back in fucking It's like back in '91.
I feel like I was elevating you on that one. But
No, but yeah, they pulled a gun out. They didn't pull a gun on me and point it at me, but the dude kept flashing it. And then I was like, dude, who said this? Who said this? I don't even know. Like, I don't know who the fuck you are. And they're like, he said it. And then he pointed to the dude driving, which is the kid who liked the girl I was seeing. And I look over and the fucking dude just goes, whack. And I still have the scar and I was like, and I was like, come on. And then the dude
punched you in the face?
Yeah, he fucking, when I looked over, he fucking swung and hit me in the face and split my lip. And then I was like, come on, motherfucker. Because, you know, you get an adrenaline rush. And I said, come on, motherfucker, come on. And we started doing this whole thing. And then,
boxing like the boxing nun.
Yeah, we were like,
old-timey shadow box.
Gentleman Jim and shit.
Gentleman Jason Mewes.
and then the dude went like this. He's like, yo, man, you don't want trouble. Get the fuck out of here, and started flashing his gun. Which could have been a lighter for all I know. He's like, yo, get the fuck out of here. And he was like, cigarette. No. But I wasn't chancing it. And Stinkweed, of course, was walking way. By this point, Stinkweed and Brian were way down at the other end of the parking lot and, like, just left me.
Like, later, Muse.
Yeah, so I don't, I've gotten hit a few times for that.
Yeah, as long as we're honest.
I have only one time this kid attacked me because of a girl, and they were the guy, remember, like...
Wait, I think every story tonight you've been attacked.
I have been
because of a girl.
attacked. But these are the only 4 times, honestly, I think. But, you know the bungalows that people used to come, and as you said, they come and they stay for, like, the summer? Like, that was sort of exciting for us, because in our town, again, well, for me anyway, because in our town, like, you know everyone, so either you fucked a girl, or you're not interested, or they're not interested in you. So there'd always be a bunch of new girls and stuff, and they'd have parties and stuff, and we'd go down there, and... Again, we were there at some party and I was like talking to some girl and all that stuff. And like the next day, nothing happened, but like the next day I'm walking and some kid comes up to me and he's like, yo, why were you talking to my girl last night? You know, I heard you were talking to my girlfriend and shit. And he stepped in my face. So I was like, ta, ta, ta. And then I stepped back and I was like, hip hip toogan, Sharikin. And I fucking knocked dude down and out, and he was like bleeding. It was sort of like back to then. That was the one fight that it was, because it was one-on-one. All the other times there have been more than one guys, or there's been guns involved. So the point of all these stories is don't fuck with me one-on-one. You better bring your posse, motherfuckers.
Didn't you also, in Pittsburgh, did it also happen? You got fucking punched for talking to a girl while you were playing pool, right?
Yeah. Come on, bro.
So that wasn't
but that wasn't the same thing. That really wasn't. We had a dogma party, and there was tons of people coming up, and we were playing pool, a bunch of people that we were hanging with. And, you know, people would come up like, hey, can I get a picture? And that's why Benny was like, hey, can I? And I flinch. It's because of that reason. Because serious, like people were like, hey, can I get a picture? Can I get a... And I guess later on we found out that there was a table of guys, a couple guys and him and the girlfriend, and she was like, I'm gonna go get his autograph and a picture. And then all his friends were teasing. I'm like, oh, look at that. She wants to fuck him. Because the kid that was sitting on, it was the booths, so there was someone sitting with their back who wasn't part of their crew, and heard him, like their boys teasing him, going, and he's like, I'll go punch him in the fucking face, and they're like, we dare you to. So I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, yeah, thanks. And then like this kid comes up, and he's like, hey bro, can I talk to you? And I'm like, yeah, bro, what's up? And he just goes,
This is what's up.
and fucking knocks me in the face, and I was like I saw little birdies and shit. I was like staring at them, and one of the guys I was at ran up and like he thought I was playing pool. I grabbed him by the throat and I ran up and I like fucking kneed him ninja style in his chest, and then fucking he slid out of the dude's headlock and ran down the street and took off. It was fucking crazy. Like I was really like it was out of nowhere like. I don't know. It was really bizarre because he's like, "Hey, bro, let me talk to you," and like other people had been doing that. So anyway, and then he was just like, the good thing I was really excited about though is you would think with that much fucking, like off guard and retract that he'd knock me on my ass, but he couldn't bring me down, motherfucker. Couldn't like Walter was like.
Blue sky.
I see blue. I'm just kidding.
Muse, is that you?
All right, we got to wrap it up, man.
Wait, one more. No, I'm just kidding.
There was this one time the president got shot because of this girl I like. Thanks for being here tonight with Highlands and Peephole History. I'm Kevin Smith.
Walt.
Brian.
Muse.
Thank you and good night.